Boy, just be yourself. If people don't like it if you're being yourself, fuck them.
It's Big Los,
Hollywood Kev,
and welcome to another episode of The Noize. If you haven't yet, go ahead and follow us on the Big Three: Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Noize Podcast. And of course, you can follow everything Beat Network at beatnetworkonline.com. Comic-Con has passed, so there's no need to bring it up anymore. But this Friday, Cognac Conversations, keeping it 100, celebration for our 100th episode. It's going to be a great time. Really looking forward to it. It's crazy, all of this promotion, pub, and conversation that we've had about it, and the shit's finally here.
Yeah, it's happening.
And I feel like it low key just like crept up on us.
It did, because I remember when around the first announcement time, I was like, okay, it's coming, but it's a little ways away. Now this shit is Friday, so I was like, damn.
Right, this Friday at that.
Right.
Dog, I'm so happy that I took today off from my job, because I'm like, ain't no way in hell I'm gonna have only one day off on Thursday. And then jump, even though it was not even going to be a real off day, because we got to, go over the stuff we're going to do for the shows. We got to work on Friday, make sure everything's set up, square, ready to go. Again, shout out to Rail Davis, man. He really held it down with allowing us to use this facility. I feel like we've started the last few episodes off by saying this, but understand that when I say it this time, I mean it. This will not be a long episode. As I mentioned, just got back from New York. Jet lag it's
real. You seem like it.
Bruh.
For those who don't know, unfortunately, I didn't make this trip, but yeah, it seems like it.
The jet lag has been kicking my ass through and through. And then in the words of Lil Wayne, today is my birthday. So I didn't really have
birthday to the goal.
Appreciate it. I haven't had the time to really chill and relax. Like I was up, got taken to lunch, and then went to went straight to grandmother's, kicked it with the fam bam till dinner. Had dinner over there with them, and then shot back to the crib. It is 11:05 right now on a Monday.
Dog tired.
And I'm beyond dog tired, nigga. If I fall asleep on this episode, I need no one to judge me. I need them to just understand that shit happens. And then we bounce back from it. We learn from it. We become better people because of it. But as of right now, I am tired of shit.
You sound tired. You definitely sound tired. But I mean, at least for the time being, how was New York? How did that work out for you?
So New York. As far as I've said on the show before, I've never really had the greatest experiences in New York.
Mm-hmm. Did this change it? Did this change that?
Yes and no. Okay. As far as from a personal standpoint, yes. I'll get to those stories later. I got some great ones to tell with that. But for the purpose that we went down there for, I guess I'll just kind of explain to the people now. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to deliver some of the things that we believed that we were going to. So we were accepted really late as media to New York Comic-Con. It was actually past the deadline, and there was a human error that let everything pass through. They're like, yeah, cool, so come on board, so we're like, great. So, I kind of found out when I got there that our access was pretty limited.
Really?
Yeah. So we had access to the panels, we had access to different things, but as far as those one-on-ones, if they didn't want to kind of step outside their box to just do it, then the shit wasn't getting done. Wow. So that kind of sucked. But, overall, man, I took it as a loss for a very long time that day when I found out other major media outlets were getting shit that I wasn't. But I don't know, man. Like, I think just getting to this old age of 29, I've just kind of learned to just really take every loss as a lesson. I'm definitely getting tired of lessons. Let me tell you that right now.
Right, it's only so much a nigga can learn.
There's only so much, exactly. There's only so much, lessons and life shit I can take away from and be like, oh, okay, great. Another one. I'm definitely tired of that shit. However, in this situation, it needed to happen. I don't hold anybody, at fault. I could, the only thing I really can do is just, apologize to the beat people that, that follow us. And, we're looking forward to certain footage, that unfortunately, like I said, we're not gonna be able to deliver because there was a lot of restrictions on a lot of things. But to kind of talk about the different things with Comic-Con, got to see, Common's new, comic book. I think it's an online comic book called Caster.
Yeah, I seen you send me a screenshot. I thought that was dope.
No, it's dope. It looks like it's going to be good. I've never really been a huge comic book guy. I'll admit it. I find out about it, the people when the stuff comes to theaters. But other than that, man, it looks really dope. Common actually did a freestyle at the panel that I got on tape, and I love Common. I think Common is easily one of the best artists to ever do it and ever make it this far in the game. But that freestyle was not it.
he needed to go to acting.
We're like, you know what? You might be where you're supposed to be right now.
Right.
But, also at the same time, what do you say to a Grammy Award winning and an Oscar Award winning rapper? You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
He can do whatever the fuck he wants. So shit, if you want freestyle, we hear Snoop do horrible freestyles all the time.
You ain't lied about that. I've heard Snoop do some questionable shit. You ain't lied about that.
I think Common is just at that place where it don't matter what the hell he spit. You gonna like it and you gonna fuck with him.
Yeah, if you don't, he's still Common.
He's still Common. Nothing about me is gonna change. I'm going to still be Common. We also got to see a sneak peek of Hellboy, the new Hellboy movie.
How'd that look?
It looks raw. You could definitely tell that digital effects have gotten better since the first two original Hellboys. Mm-hmm. The new dude that's playing them looks you said what?
I was gonna say that's the same dude from Stranger Things, right?
Yes.
On Stranger Things.
Yes, exactly. But he looks exactly like how my man's from Sons of Anarchy looked when he played him. So,
really?
Yeah. There's a lot of similarities from the trailer that we watched. There's a lot of similarities between the two. I would definitely say that. And, like the trailer looks cool. It has my interest. The cast was there. Everybody was there except for Mila Jovovich. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Mm-hmm. Cast were cool. Everybody had really good things to say about it. It was just it was a really good event. What else happened? Cosplay was above and beyond. People were really stepping outside the box with their stuff. Unfortunately, I was already on a plane coming back when they did the cosplay competition because, again, on top of the information that I received, there wasn't supposed to be any cosplay competition this time around, but it was. Right. So, again, it is what it is. It happens.
Next time it'll be better. It'll be even better next time.
Right.
So, okay. So how did the overall trip in New York outside of Comic-Con go?
As far as the trip, I can definitely take away my thought of I just can't get down with New York. That thought is gone. I fuck with New York the long way, but I could never live there.
Oh yeah, living there don't seem like it'd be pleasant at all.
Bruh, when I tell you, first of all, the commute is nothing but pure cardio. You gotta run down these stairs to hop on this train, get off that train, hop on this train. Once you get off that train, you gotta go up these stairs and then walk like 6 blocks to the spot you want to be because there ain't no train station where you're trying to go.
Yeah.
Dog.
Yeah, I'm good.
We didn't have a single commute that was under an hour. Not one.
Crazy. That's crazy. That's already guaranteed. You're gonna at least do an hour. That's crazy.
But it was dope because this was Jay Alonso's first time going.
Right. Yeah.
So it was cool to see him, really experience that, for the first time. I remember, cause one of the days he didn't go with me to Comic-Con and I was with my frat brother. Shout out to X. Definitely shout out to X for his hospitality. He opened up his house to us. Even when Skylar showed up, we all were able to just crash and he made sure we made everything on time. He showed a lot of love. We went out for my birthday and everything while we were out there. So yeah, shout out to my frat brother X. We definitely appreciate that, brother. But yeah, he made sure that Jay had a great time too. So the day that Jay didn't go with us, you know, we were all in Times Square. Or no, I'm sorry, we were in Manhattan, and you know, we were gonna split. So Jay was like, I'm trying to see certain things. So we're standing in this one spot, and my frat brother was like, okay, Madison Square Garden is a block down that way. That's the Empire State Building, and about 3 or 4 blocks down that way is Times Square. Jay was like, wait, so is all this shit just right here? He was like, yeah.
It's just right here?
So he turns around and sees the Empire State Building, like, oh shit, and takes a picture of it. Then he said he went to Madison Square Garden, took a picture outside with all the statues and everything, and then walked over to Times Square. So he was just there. And then I think he stopped and went to go see Venom to kind of pass the last little bit of hours. By the time Venom was over, I was done.
Ah, okay.
So everything kind of lined up perfectly.
Right. I need to ask him about Venom, how that was.
Brother, let me tell you, this has nothing to do with Venom. This is just something I got to get off my chest. I got to share with you. So we have this certain frat brother who will remain nameless, but you know, as in the words of Pusha T, if you know, you know.
Right.
I have never seen this shit ever happen ever before in my life. But
I'm interested to see what it was.
We're at one of the bars, and I see him talking to a chick. Mm-hmm. You know, I can't tell if they're being cordial or if he's like really putting down, you know, some you know, some real mathematics. You know,
right. He keeps sweating it up. Right.
You know, is he really kicking the knowledge? You feel me? Dog. And I shit you not, if I'm lying, I'm flying, and it's enough witnesses to attest to this. When I tell you, I look up and this man did a got your nose on this chick.
That's funny.
And
this
I was
a random chick.
Yeah, this is just some chick that he's shooting the shit with at the bar. But he, so when I saw it, I was like, okay, enough's enough. So I walked over there and I was like, bro, what the hell are you doing? He was like, what are you talking about? I was like, do you know them? He was like, no, I know they pro fight though. I'm like, but that's not how it works. You can't just like, I understand y'all just talking, but you don't hit as an adult, you don't hit another adult with the gotcha nose.
Gotcha nose, right.
Especially at the bar.
Yeah, that's the last place you want to do that.
And it was so funny because we later found out he still got her number. So listen, it's 2018. If you really trying to find Mrs. Right, it's time to start gotcha nose. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Be right. Hey, what's going on with you? Boop. That's all you got to do. And you win. You won.
He still got her number.
Still got her number. And I feel like that's just so impressive.
It is very impressive, but at the same time, is that just New York?
But I can't flex though. I was jealous because I'm out here working like on Saturday. I was very jealous. Let me tell you, first of all, my frat brother is very, very New York. He's he's from Harlem. He lives in the Bronx. And first of all, everywhere that you go in New York looks like a Jay-Z video from back in the day. I understand they all were shot in New York, but I'm like, God damn, like everything looks like Marcy. But, so my frat brother, he gets up and he's like, all right, so while you're at Comic-Con, I'm going to take Jay and I'm going to take Skylar because Skylar just got in. He's like, I'm going to take Jay and I'm going to take Skylar to this brunch and then we're going to go to a day party. And I'm sitting here like, I want to go to brunch and to a day party, nigga.
Right,
I'm trying to be out here, sipping mimosas and, chatting up with the common folk. Like, what kind of shit is that? Like, I ain't never heard somebody say we're going to go to brunch, go to a day party. And I never thought I'd be interested to go to brunch and a day party. But that just sounds
that shows your age. And the crazy part is, we got that here in Vegas, but it ain't New York. It ain't the same.
It ain't the fucking same. And according to Jay and Skylar, they said that day party was cracking.
I can only imagine.
And here I am.
I can only imagine. Here I am at Comic-Con.
Here I am trying to maneuver through a bunch of musty ass virgins trying to get some video. Dog, when I tell you, listen, I thought I was a nerd. I thought I really was a black nerd. And then I got to Comic-Con. I was like, oh, no, I'm good.
You didn't fit in with them.
I didn't. I was not welcomed. Bro, I'm sitting in line editing Pillow Talk while I'm waiting to go inside one of the panels, working while I'm working. And I just hear these two nerds having a conversation and they're going the fuck in. And I'm just sitting here like, huh.
About what?
Just comic book shit. They was naming people I've never heard of. And I'm like, okay, well, all right. So, I'm sitting there like, I lost my virginity in my teens, so I can't say I understand what you're talking about
right. I'm not
at
sure
this very moment. But the love and the appreciation that those people had for comic books and anime and stuff like that is unmatched. It was unbelievable at that.
That's funny. It sounded like you had a hell of a time. I mean, outside of the shit that we couldn't control, it sounded like you had a hell of a time. Yeah, I definitely, the next New York trip, I am there.
Here's what irked me. The next New York trip, I'm going as a fucking visitor. I can't work and visit because, again, I am tired, bruh. Like, seriously, every night. Like, I think it was just the first night we got in the earliest, and that was like 11:30.
Damn, so every night it's been like a late night time?
Every night we was out late, bruh. Every night. Like, even the last night before we flew out, we were out until about 4 a.m.
Well, I can imagine that being your last night in there. I can imagine that, but goodness, I ain't trying to be out at 4 a.m.
Well, what happened? We, cause they went to the brunch and to the day party. And then once I finally got done shooting for the day, I met up with them at a bar in Harlem, and the bar was cracked. That's where my frat brother did the got your nose thing. I met up with them at the bar in Harlem, and I guess that was the birthday celebration. And they was buying me drinks. I always talk shit about people that stroll at clubs and stuff, but I feel like bars don't count. And we ended up strolling. There were some Deltas there. There was some other Sigmas there. So I'm like, okay, well, y'all understand the climate. So
they may understand, but bars do count, brother.
I understand. Yeah, no, I know bars count too, but once you get some drink in your system and you're like, you know what? Everybody doing it. I might as well jump in and get this going.
Right,
I mean, shit, they did it. It happened with Jim Jones. Everybody like, shit, y'all doing it. I'm gonna do the same thing.
True. That's very true.
And I don't mean Jim Jones capo. I don't mean him. I mean,
Nah, we talk about drinking the Kool-Aid.
Right, drinking the Kool-Aid. Exactly. It was a pretty dark joke, but for those who understand, if you know, you know. But yeah, that was we did that, and then we met up with some more of my frat brother's friends. And some other friends from college, and we went to my other spot, BBQ's. I got my Henny Colada goblet, and I tried something different. I was gonna get the Hennessy wings, but I saw they had a Hennessy burger.
Wow.
Yes, so I got
I'm more inclined to try that than the wings.
I got the Hennessy burger, and I got a side of the Hennessy sauce. Here's the thing: when you eat the wings don't come off like Hennessy. Mm-hmm. You could tell it's something there. Mm-hmm. But the sauce by itself that I was dipping my fries in, it was just, I'm like, dog, this is Hennessy and Sweet Baby Ray's. Who you playing?
It's Hennessy and barbecue sauce.
I'm like, dude, it just tasted like barbecue Hennessy. Like, there's no other way to describe it.
I don't know if I want to try that.
Nah, it was delicious. You should definitely try it. But with it just being the sauce, it was just all Hennessy. That's just all it tastes like.
Well, that's what I mean. I don't know if I want to try just the sauce. I don't think I'd dip a fry in it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, on the burger, though, that shit was hitting.
Yeah, I can imagine that shit was amazing on the burger.
It was absolutely delicious.
But it would sound like you had a decent time in New York.
It was straight. And like I said, got back home and been up and on my feet all damn day. And then they told me they want me to clock in tomorrow. I'm like, man, y'all got to take me as I am. I ain't shaving.
You ain't getting no extras.
You ain't getting nothing. Them numbers better be low too when I get there. Long story to say, that's why this episode is coming out on a Tuesday. We're recording this late on a Monday, so judge us not. We needed a 99th episode, so this Friday, I'm sorry, made sense.
It makes sense.
How was your week? How was your week?
My week was how was my week? My week was chill, as per usual. More insightful. Like I started learning things. I've been learning about myself, but just learning about human behavior and how they do certain things, and just regular shit, I guess. But for the most part, my week was cool for the most part.
I was telling people, I said this is the week of Kev. He took over the entire playlist because I was going through it. And then you appeared on our behalf on Melanin Boulevard. Been hearing some really good reviews from that. How was that?
That was fun. It was fun mostly because me and her will vibe. I know her, so we vibe. But it was cool because I kind of, not saying that I don't do it on this show, but I kind of got to put on my tin hat and be myself for a second. You know what I mean? Be something that people got the rawness. I should say they definitely got Kev and not Hollywood on that one. So it was dope. It was dope. Don't get me wrong. It was fun as hell. I was driving and realized that I've been driving for quite a bit of time and I'm still have not been there yet. That part was a little strange, but other than that, it was dope. I told her I'd do it again. Rachel knows I'll do it again. If you guys haven't heard the new episode or the most recent episode of Melanin Boulevard, definitely go check that out. But it was a cool event. It was a cool environment. You know, she has a dope coach drive. I know they just did this thing on Saturday. It was a little coach drive. I'm not sure if I'm not sure if they got rid of all the coats or what, but I thought she got some dope things over there. I thought it was dope.
That's what's up. Yeah.
It was cool.
I heard the episode and I was like, oh yeah, he in his bag right now.
I was just in a lot of the stuff I was saying on that episode is what I'm thinking or what I'm saying. Like I like to play devil's advocate, even if I'm wrong, or I like to just get other perspectives, even if the perspective is wrong, trying to see what made them do whatever it was that they're doing. And on that show, I was able to do so.
I finally had the chance to listen to it because they had a charger station at Comic-Con. Mm-hmm. And first of all, that charger station was kill or be killed. Anything in New York was kill or be killed, especially the fucking traffic.
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like in New York, it's you out here and you kind of on your own. You do it until somebody tells you not to.
Like, out here when or any other, driving place, mm-hmm. when you about to get over, you're throwing your signal or you at least turn up to the dude and be like, can I get through?
You let them know. So a person may slow down, speed, you let them know.
Right. No, not in New York. Not in New York. If I'm getting over, I'm getting the fuck over.
First of all, I thought they really didn't drive in New York. I thought they
Well, that's the thing. You hear more people say that they take public transportation because of the traffic, but everyone fucking drives in New York. And they be doing some petty shit. Like this dude parked his van in the middle of the street, and I don't know what the hell he was doing. It caused
in the middle of the street.
In the middle of the street. And mind you, this is going down a narrow road in New York. So all these cars behind him just honking their horn, leaning on their horn. And we're walking because we just parked our car in Harlem to take the train to Manhattan.
That's crazy that's crazy that part is even heard to park your car in one city to have to catch the train to another city.
Exactly.
Just to avoid traffic. That's wild.
To avoid traffic and tolls and parking as well. Like at first I was going to have to pay my frat brother $40 for his parking.
That's fucking nuts.
But he ended up finding a cheaper spot for $25, which I'm like, that still sucks.
That's still nuts.
But I'd much rather pay $25 than $40. But anyway, so we're walking and that's when we see the van and we're like, wow, I wonder do all those people know that they are not going anywhere anytime soon.
So nobody was just in the car.
No one was in the van, bro. And the crazy shit, there was so many cars behind them that the dude that was directly behind the van, he just had to sit there.
That's crazy.
There was no way around him. I'm like, that's such an asshole thing to do.
Yeah, he wouldn't have came back out with tires. I would have poked the tire or something.
Oh yeah, I'd have fucked this whole shit up.
Right. I gotta sit here, nigga. You gotta sit here. Now we all sitting here. Something.
One thing that's interesting to see, and he actually was telling me about, was how bad the predominantly black areas are being gentrified. From what
speak on that. You seen it firsthand, so speak on that.
I would say so. The first time I went to New York to where I actually touched different boroughs was in 2008. It was in 2008. Okay. And when I say touch different boroughs, we were everywhere. We were in Harlem. We were in Queens. We were on fucking Staten Island. We was everywhere. You know what I mean? So you saw what neighborhoods was what. Going back, Harlem is very blended.
Really?
Very blended.
It's not. To my knowledge, that's the black spot.
Mm-mm. According to the locals, they're calling Harlem Upper Manhattan now.
Ooh. What?
Yeah, it's crazy over there. He was telling me all these businesses closed down, all these people were forced out their houses because they do the renovations that they asked for years, but then they jack up the prices.
That's what I've heard. They'll do it or fix it up, jack up the price so you can't even afford to be there no more.
Right. They move into bigger businesses. Apparently Dunkin' Donuts is black Starbucks. So but they've been putting Starbucks in these areas and running Dunkin' Donuts out of it. Like it's being gentrified like a sumbitch, and it's just forcing people into the poorer and poorer sides of New York. And it's sad, but it's like at the same time you're happy to see the area get restored, but it's like you're restoring it while forcing out the people that kind of made this what this is.
Right. They're restoring it, but they're removing the history of what that city is.
Right.
Yeah.
And to say
That's
that
foul.
we did go to this one spot called the Harlem Tavern though. Dog. And when you go, I gotta make sure you get up there because it was so dope. It was a little indoor outdoor spot. Great music was playing. Food was bomb. And there was nothing but black faces. Nothing but black faces. And it was so dope. So dope. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I still couldn't live there.
Yeah, I wouldn't live there. I mean, it'd be cool to visit, maybe even stay for a decent amount of time, but to live there, not in the city. If I lived there, it would have to be like in the country area or
Nah. You would want to be as close as you possibly can be because your commute is gonna be majority of your day. Really? And you know what? I finally understand what the fuck A$AP Rocky was talking about when he said anything is better than that one train.
What he was talking about?
I took the one train for like 4 stops, and that was the worst goddamn time of my life.
How was it the worst time?
First of all, it is uncomfortably packed to the point where
they packing it.
To the point where you're chest to chest, nose to nose with another nigga.
Oh hell no!
Like you're just on this fucking train.
Yeah, nah.
And then when you're trying to get through, motherfuckers ain't trying to let you through. Like that's, again, A$AP, thank you. Cause at least I knew going on to the one train, I'm like, something about this I ain't supposed to like. And I instantly didn't like it.
Yeah, I'm good on it. Then again, I'm probably good on New York. Remember I was telling the story how I went to Arizona and it's somebody in New York that has the same name, same birthday, but just his social is slightly different from mine. But if he ain't arrested now, that nigga got a warrant. I'm good on New York.
I'm cool because you arrest me in New York. I know I'm going down.
Right, you arrest me thinking, and it wasn't like it's no little stuff like dude's a felon. Like he was just at the time that I was going through that process, he was just released from jail or prison. So you ain't finna mistake me. I just stay out of New York. Y'all catch it.
He said, I'll make sure I'm away.
Right. I'll give you one less thing to worry about. You ain't got to worry about 2 of us. Nope.
Man, I tried to get back. And you know what's crazy? When you do stuff like that, you really fall off of your usual scheduling. Cause I tried to when I came back, I tried to sit down and chill before I went out to lunch. And I'm like, I'm about to watch I'm gonna watch my YouTube shows that I've missed. And I'm like, damn, I missed so many episodes in them 4 days. And then I saw that, Mike Epps on the Breakfast Club. I started it, but I didn't get a chance to finish it. And I'm so salty about that.
I listened to it. I'm not big on like comedian beef so will or anything like that, but I was like, you know what? It's Mike Epps. I like Mike Epps. It might have some gems in there. At worst case scenario, it's content. So I listened to it, and actually, I can't. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to see comedians or anybody beef like that. You know what I mean? I think it's petty shit. But a lot of what Mike Epps was saying, it brings light to the situation, and he kind of doesn't look like the bad guy in it. He looks like the bad guy because it appears he's bullying him or whatever the case is. But when you really listen to it and break it down, it's some shit going on that we don't know about, and I kind of see Mike Epps' point of view on it. I really do.
So what was he talking about?
In a nutshell, you know how him and Kevin Hart, they go trade shots, go back and forth, so on and so forth. He basically said, it's just jokes. It's entertainment. It wouldn't escalate to that level. He's worked with said people before. One of the things Charlamagne said was, on the surface, it looks like you're kind of a bully because you'll say something, Kevin Hart won't. You'll say something again, Kevin Hart won't. And then it gets to a point where Kevin Hart feels like he got to defend himself. So it looks like you're just poking him. When he spoke to that, he was like, well, what it is like,
it's just scripted, you know what I mean? But he was like, it's a lot of behind the scenes stuff going on that people aren't worrying about. And one of the things he kept, in a sense, highlighting, again, he didn't say really nobody's names. He didn't say nobody's names. We can all insinuate who we was talking about, but him himself, he didn't say a name. But he was basically saying, when one person has, he was using a dope reference, but when one person has all this money and it's another person doing the same exact thing, but he don't have all this money, the person with all the money kind of can control what is what because he has money. So in reference, he's saying Kevin Hart got all this money and got all this say so and so on and so forth, but he's not really doing the things for people, like he said, like he's not really doing the things for people like somebody else that wouldn't have that type of power do. And it makes sense in a sense. Don't get me wrong, Kevin Hart has definitely put on people, you know what I mean? But when we really think about it, Tiffany Haddish was coming regardless. You know what I mean? Like, she was coming whether Kevin Hart took her under his wing or not. She was coming regardless. So we can't really contribute that to him. I mean, yeah, you can say he boosted, so to speak, but she was coming regardless. Same thing with Rel Little Well. He was coming regardless. Kevin Hart definitely boosted it and made him, so to speak, a household name if you want to go that far. But the guy was coming regardless. Just Hilarious, DC Young Fly, they were coming regardless. You know what I mean? So those type of comedians, I can't really say Kevin Hart had a say-so in it. And when you really think about it, when we think about, at least with us, who do you, if you're saying, if you're going to be a comedian right now and you're saying your influences, Kevin Hart is not really one that you're saying your influencer.
Right.
You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, I'm a huge Kevin Hart fan. I was at, not his last show. I was mad I couldn't go to the last show, but the one before that, I went to that show. I'm a fan of his. But when I really think, he's not, in the traditional sense of being a comedian, he's not funny in that sense. Don't get me wrong, he's funny. He can tell a story. But when you actually think about the other greats, the Chappelle's, the Chris Rocks, the Cat Williams, the Mike Epps, they can sit there and tell you a joke that is funny. Kevin Hart tells us a story about something that may happen to him, whether it's true or not, and the story is funny. Can you really say that Kevin Hart has gave you a joke that was funny? You can't. So when you think about all these other like people that's coming up, they can say that the Dave Chappelle's or the Bernie Macs or whoever you have you back then is why they're influenced now. You can't really say that with Kevin Hart. So Mike Epps is basically saying at this point, Kevin has so many power. He is a gatekeeper, but he's not putting everybody on. Like, I'm not saying you should put everybody on, but he's a gatekeeper in a sense where if he doesn't like a certain person or he feels a certain person is not appealing to him, they don't get to put on. You know what I mean? Even though that first person could be funny or whatever the case. That's like saying I get put on and me and you went through we're the same, exactly the same, but I get put on for whatever reason first. And I don't put you on because I have a vendetta against you or I just don't like you. Or your comedy or whatever you're doing doesn't appeal to me, but it may appeal to the masses. He's saying Kevin Hart behind the scenes would be stopping that. Basically, it sounds like Kevin Hart be stopping people's bankroll if it doesn't appeal to him. And stuff like that you shouldn't do. You know what I mean? It's definitely an eye opener. Don't get me wrong. Some of the stuff that he was saying, he wasn't answering the questions or stuff like that. But for the most part, he definitely dropped some gems in there. But I will say, I do like Charlemagne's interview style because he wasn't letting him skate away. He was asking the tough questions, and you can tell when he's looking at him, he's saying certain shit that's condescending, making you think about what you said. I like that in the interview. I think that's something that we do. So I like that. But definitely, if you haven't already, definitely go check that out. Again, I guess my expectations were low because it was something I was getting in the shower and doing something I didn't really care about listening to it. But if you like that kind of thing, you get insight on what's really going on and why he feels the way he feels. And again, he says it. It's all his opinion. You know what I mean? It's all how he feels. You can't tell nobody how they feel, whether it's right or wrong. It's a different debate. But in a nutshell, you really get to see what his gripes are, he's about. You know what I mean? So it was a good eye opener.
And that's why I was interested in hearing Mike Epps' response. To be completely honest with you, people are quick to throw out, you're hating on this person, hating on that person. When I heard
like he said, having an opinion on something is not hate.
Exactly. And that's why when him and Mike Epps would trade bars, I would look at it and I would think like, Mike Epps isn't a hater. Mike Epps at this point is a legend in the game. But like when you see Kevin Hart, trade bars with Michael Blackson or even Cat Williams or Faison Love, what's the other dude that has something to say about him? Ari Spears. They all said the same thing. Kevin Hart's not funny. Kevin Hart's this, Kevin Hart that. I'm like, y'all are upset.
Right. That's what at first, y'all are upset. Like, in hindsight, it still can sound like they're upset. Yeah, you're absolutely right about
you know what I'm saying? But when you come down to Mike Epps, and one part of the conversation I caught was when he said, I never said Kevin Hart wasn't funny. I said, I don't think he's funny.
Right, which is an opinion.
And a lot of people don't understand. Exactly. A lot of people don't understand the difference between labeling someone not funny and giving your personal opinion, your personal preference. If Kevin Hart just wasn't funny at all, he wouldn't be the gatekeeper, as he's being called. Right. If he was just trash, he wouldn't be in the position that he's in. But if you personally don't think he's funny, and I've heard plenty of people say it, that they don't think Kevin Hart is funny. But that changes nothing. Again, it's the same conversation of we can't say that this dude is trash because he's killing the industry right now.
Right, exactly.
He's just trash to us. He's not for us.
Exactly. And again, I felt the same way. I thought they were all, even with Mike Epps, I was like, man, y'all all just bitter until he really broke it down to me. And it's like you said, Kevin Hart to be going at it with all these other artists. To them, they're like, or comedians, to them, they're like, yo, we were the exact same. So for you to get this money and kind of look at the reference he used, he was like, imagine if we were both slaves and for whatever reason you got on the porch, but then you looking your nose down at me like I ain't shit, even though we were both last week slaves picking the same cotton. That as crude as that sound, I understood that. You know what I mean? Same with like I was saying, Kevin Hart to get on there and say, or trade bars with whatever on these comedians. But at the end of the day, like, dude, they're looking at you like you're a comedian just like me. You just got put on, and I understood that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting to see again. It's all his opinion. It's all opinion. I believe Kevin Hart is a great storyteller. I think some of the stuff that he's told story wise is funny. But if you had to ask me if I can remember a joke from him or him telling a joke, no. But even the stuff that we can quote from Kevin Hart, it all comes from a story. If you think about it, say it with your chest, that all comes from a story. That doesn't come from a joke. It comes from a story.
So okay, so here's my only issue with that. A lot of the greats did that. Richard Pryor.
I'm not saying they haven't, but a lot of the greats have also gave you a joke.
Well, yeah, of course, they'll squeeze it in. They'll squeeze in a joke here and there, but Richard Pryor was predominantly stories. Eddie Murphy was predominantly stories. I guess those are two greats that I can just come off the top with. But yeah, but I understand what you mean because
they still tell, they have jokes. He'll tell stories and they may be consecutive or coincide, but I'm saying, has he ever really broken up and gave you a joke? We both seen the Dave Chappelle special. Dave Chappelle was able to give you jokes, whether you liked them or not was completely up to you, but he gave you jokes.
Right.
I'm saying that's what separates the two as a sport of being a comedian.
Right.
Is what separates the two.
And Kevin Hart really did change the game because I was watching D.L. Hughley's stand-up special on Netflix, and I had to really watch it again kind of with like fresher ears because I was like, this isn't hidden for me. But then when I watched it again, I was laughing and I'd really sit back and think like he's actually telling jokes.
Exactly. That's all I mean.
Right. No. I feel what you mean, but I was just talking about in the sense of, it was kind of worded by, from the little bit I've seen from Mike Epps, and in your explanation of it, it was worded as if Kevin Hart is the only nigga out here just telling stories. So it was kind of like
right, and that's again, at least that's now. I don't know. Again, I'm misinterpreting. I'm probably misquoting the actual interview. Again, that's just my in perception of it. That's how I look at it. He'll tell jokes or he'll tell stories and they're great, but as a masses, I'm pretty sure how as a sport of comedians look at it, he doesn't tell actual jokes. He doesn't get on stage and tell jokes. He'll get on stage and tell you a story that's fucking hilarious. But far as a joke, he will, you know what I mean? That's all I mean. But it does when he said it, because again, some of the questions he didn't answer, or he talked around, it does sound like he hating a little bit, but for the most part, you can kind of see why he says or he feels the way he feels.
But you know what though, when it comes down to Mike Epps, you really have to stop and question, like, if you are hating, Why? You're about to play Richard Pryor in the biography.
He talked about that too. That movie probably ain't gonna come out, but he explained that. Yeah.
So what did he say with that?
He said that the Richard Pryor movie actually has been in the works for a long time, and he remembers when he was auditioning for whatever, he had beat out all these other comedians. You know, he said he would leave, and sometimes he'll see different comedians come in. But Charlamagne asked him, he was like, "So that movie not coming on?" And he was like, "Yeah." He said, "Well, it is what it is." Like, he basically alluded to it's not coming out. But to go to your point, absolutely. Why are you hating? You talked about why you did all these things, but I guess his reason for it is. I get, in a nutshell, it sounds like he doesn't like that Kevin Hart is now this quote unquote gatekeeper. He got this bread and he's the hardest working person in Hollywood, but then looks down on the people that's trying to get to where he's at. I think that's what he was trying to get at.
I understand, you know, when you said that. I guess it's hard to, it's like I get it, but at the same time I don't, because one of the things like how you said Lil Rel, you know, he was going to get here, you know, eventually. It's a little different with him because we know that Kevin Hart put Lil Rel on directly. We know Kevin Hart got him his Netflix special, which really got him noticed. Tiffany Haddish definitely was going to get here whether or not Kev Hart popped up with a Night School, because Night School isn't necessarily buzzing right now. A lot of people ain't running to go see Night School. So she was doing fine without it. Mm-hmm. And one thing that, you know, that, Cat Williams said that I agreed with was you don't see a lot of Tiffany Haddish out here doing shows. She's done shows. She's, you know, a legend at the Laugh Factory. But as far as like big ticket specials, I think she actually has 2 specials coming out on Netflix. Those, at this point with with how the climate is now, those specials have to be great.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
And I feel bad for her because if it's not, especially as a black woman, unfortunately, if they're not that great, they're going to shit on her. And that's unfair to her.
Like, she's in a tough position. She's in a bad position. I don't like how people throw her name around, and when it comes to conversations like this, you know, with Mike Epps and Kevin Hart, but she's in a real bad position. Only not financially or anything like that, but she's in a tough adulting situation. You know what I mean? Like, she got one group, she fuck with them, but she also is a comedian. She fucks with all the comedians, but you know what I mean? They're tating on me because of their perception of my mental. She's in a bad position that way.
But you know what though? This does introduce an interesting topic. So when all this stuff initially happened, we had a conversation about how black people were selective, you know, when it comes down to who we want to see make it. We'll hate on a nigga. Mm-hmm. We'll try to do what we can to make his money stop. His or her money stop. So now this kind of flips it. When you are in that position and you are on top, and it goes back to black people because we're kind of like the only ones that do it when it comes down to entertainment, at least. Somebody's going to try to say something different too about that to me, but we're not, obviously I can only talk about my own. But when you get to that position, why do we develop that mindset? Like, nah, you're just trying. You need to hurry up and get to where I'm at, you know, or I'm gonna shut down you getting to where I'm at. Like, I wonder why is that such a norm?
That's a good question. Far as shutting it down, the only thing I can think of is they're insecure. They don't, you know what I mean? They don't feel secure enough in their position. They don't want nobody else to do better than them. Whereas the other thing, I don't know. I don't know why they'll be like, yeah, I'm here, but you need to get to my level. You ain't shit yet. I don't know why. Because me personally, if I see a person, especially a black person winning, whether it's in my same industry or not, like that's dope to me. You know what I mean? Like I personally don't get it. So I don't know. That's a really good question.
Like, I look at, and this is one thing I recognized when I was out in New York. Now, obviously it's a satellite station, but I truly didn't know that Kevin Hart had his own Laugh Out Loud radio station with Sirius. I didn't know.
Really?
I knew he had the YouTube channel. I knew he had the streaming service. I didn't know he had a station.
Yeah, as far as him expanding and wrenching his money, you'd be a fool if you say he wasn't doing that.
And that's what I don't get. You know, when it comes down to being in that position, I don't understand how somebody that's making the moves that he's making can necessarily shut anybody down from getting to where he's at. Just invest that money.
True, and you're right, and I think that's alluding to what he was saying. Just invest that money, but But at the same time, what we were saying before, and we've seen it with Nicki, again, we're on the outside looking in, so we don't know.
Right.
But I can guess we can see it with Nicki and the Cardi B situation. If you got somebody, you're worth $100 million, and somebody else is up and coming, and once they get to your level, if not already, they may be worth $200 million. So maybe Kevin Hart like, nah, I'm worth $100 million. Y'all gonna do what I say. And we ain't fucking with this person. He could be. He could be scared in that position.
And that's such bitch nigga shit too. And it's crazy because I know cats like that personally. I know cats like that we came from the soil. Like, bro, I remember when people used to call you gay because of what you used to do in high school, and now you doing these great things, you know, and you're just kind of like looking down on the people who had your back, you know.
That's in a nutshell. That's exactly what Mike Epps was saying in a nutshell.
Right. And I'm gonna keep it trail. That was obviously a sub. I don't do many subs. I don't do subs at all.
Oh yeah, that was definitely.
But that was definitely directed to somebody. But you know, that's neither here nor there.
You know.
If you know, you know. That's the title of this goddamn episode. But, you know, it's crazy because it doesn't make sense. Like I'm not in, you know, an upper echelon position when it comes down to independent media. I have no problem admitting that. However, opportunities are getting presented to us that aren't getting presented to our peers that are doing this thing. You know, again, if there's anybody in Baltimore, we will be making an announcement very soon. But I look at shit like that, you know, I'm just coming back from Comic-Con. Then we got our sold out live show this Friday. And then, you know, coming soon, we still go out of our way to put other people on.
I think that's the difference between us and other people, or us and the people we're talking about, though. Like, we actually have some type of integrity with all this is integrity. Like, at some point, and he said this too, at some point, you got to realize the money ain't everything. You can't take it with you.
Right. You can't.
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
At the end of the day,
worth $100 million, but it don't mean shit if I'm worth $100 million.
Dog.
I shit on somebody else that's trying to get $100 million.
You can't take it with you because at the end of the day, the only thing you leave on this earth is who you were when you were on this earth. And that's something that I picked up from Vic Mensa's BET Cypher.
I was going to mention I didn't listen to the Cypher, but I heard he dissed the Triple H.
I don't say I didn't listen to it either, but I heard he took a jab at him, and he later explained, like, I'm not going to follow the status quo and be like, oh, he was a great person. Like, nah, I don't get down with abusers. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things you really got to look at. Like, no matter how famous somebody is, no matter what they are, when you are in the shit and you know how somebody is, that's just what sticks with you. And again, we're nowhere near a part of the upper echelon whatsoever.
Right.
You know, but I look at the opportunities that people are getting from this. Truth is about to be on a fucking talk show. You know what I'm saying?
That's fucking amazing.
That's amazing. She's still coming back to work every week. You know what I'm saying? Hear her beat. It's like we're just creating opportunities and avenues for everybody. The new co-host of Pillow Talk, Jade, she owns a business with her family and they killing shit. She's only fucking 23.
Yes, that's phenomenal.
You know what I mean? Like, we're not trying to stop anybody from doing anything outside of beat because they're still putting on for beat.
Shit, if I'm not mistaken, I believe you put out a message, yo, I understand y'all do y'all thing, work on y'all brand. If I'm not mistaken, you put that out there.
That's what I said. I was like, listen, beat is the place that you come and you just be your natural you. This is where you come to create your brand. Everything else will follow. Like, when I tell people we are the Beat Network family, I mean that shit. You come here, you create your brand, and then you let your brand take you to the places that you want to be.
Right.
And that's how I've always felt. The announcement that we're going to make when it comes down to Baltimore, they approached reality TV before anybody else. And they put the brand on.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Cause they have their own brand. They have their own following. So,
but when to me, the way I look at it, when you do stuff like that, that doesn't necessarily make a person indebted to a person, but that definitely makes it somewhere you ain't forget. You know, hypothetically, let's say by them approaching reality TV and they put everybody else on, who's to say that doesn't put us at another level?
Exactly.
You have to go back and be like, if it wasn't for them at reality TV, this wouldn't happen. You know what I mean? So we got to be appreciative of that.
And that's what I'm saying. I feel like it should be easier to, and not necessarily take people with you, But if you know that there's opportunity opening up and you know that you know someone that's going to benefit from it, if you're already benefiting from it, there's nothing wrong with making sure that the next person does. Because then if they're really about their shit, if they're a real nigga, they're going to make sure you benefit from something if they surpass you.
Exactly.
It's all about laying the breadcrumbs. And if somebody,
my goal, especially, I'm pretty sure most men's goals like that, they want to see all they home. Of course, they want to see their family, but the people that was in the trenches with them, they want to make sure they straight and they eat. So if one person come up, they all come up.
Exactly. Like a lot of people, we talked about it slightly when she was on the show, but when it came down to Melanin Boulevard, when her and her co-host decided to not do it with each other anymore, me and Rach, we had a long conversation, and I'm like, dude, I'm running this entire conglomerate, but I want to help you. I want to do whatever it is you need from me, to give you whatever it is you think you need to do this, dolo. And not only is she killing it with Melanin Boulevard, she got her show on Hot 702, and they're doing great numbers.
Exactly. Like they doing shit. She's doing shit.
So I don't understand what's so hard for people to just, lend out that hand to other cats. Why do you feel it? Truth? Oh, I know the truth.
You want to know that little green piece of paper is exactly why.
Yeah, of course. It's always about the money. You don't want to fuck up your money. You don't want to fuck up your position. But here's my issue with that. Let me see. Who's a good person to give in the business? Look at Dr. Dre. Look at Dr. Dre. Look at the amount of people that he put on.
Yeah.
Majority of the music industry at one point was all people of Dr. Dre.
Right.
He's given everyone an opportunity, even with Anderson .Paak.
He's still
exactly. Even with Anderson .Paak. Anderson .Paak is starting to become one of them guys in the industry. You know why Dr. Dre ain't swayed? Because Dr. Dre still get money. So I don't understand, if your content is that great and your word is your bond. If your word is that dope that you can get somebody else on just by simply vouching for them or by simply holding out that hand, your content is good enough to make sure you don't lose that position.
And by you not losing that position, you ain't gonna lose that bread.
Dog, people don't realize Dave Chappelle came back into the league and then bounced again. Exactly. But for that time that he was here, he controlled comedy conversation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. He came back. He came back in. He did he did his 4 specials. He did the intro for Kendrick. I want to say it was like at the Grammys. I want to say he was just on T.I.'s album. He did a movie that's doing great right now in the theaters, and he just left.
Got his bag and bounced.
But that's what I'm talking about. He disappeared. He turned down, what was it, 30 million for
the show?
30 million for the Chappelle show.
No, that was 50, bro.
He turned out 50 million. My apologies. 50 million for the Chappelle show, and made, what was it?
I think he made 40 million since he been back.
No, I think he made like 80. He made some crazy fucking numbers for them 4 specials. So he was able to not do a show and still get that money. And then, I know he made more than what they were offering with the Chappelle show.
It all boils down to integrity.
Exactly. Because
of
who
people are letting that piece of paper control their integrity.
Exactly.
As if they, not only as if they can take it with you, but as if that money made them.
Right. And again, I say all that to say, because of the integrity that Dave Chappelle had, and because he was able to come in and then put people on the way he did with the Chappelle show, he was able to go away for years and then come back and control conversation. Because at the end of the day, it's about who you are and what you leave behind.
Exactly. That's exactly what it's funny, because it's an analogy with money that Mike Epps said. Well, I don't know if it's an analogy or not, but he was like, when you die, and let's say you die and you got money in your pocket, they bag that money up and give it as property to whoever your family members are. So you can't take this shit with you. Ultimately, and when he broke it down, he was like, ultimately, everything is rented. He said, the only thing you own is the money in your pocket, but even that is rented, because once it's gone, it goes back to the bank. Right. So if the bank is closed, that we all equal, that money don't mean shit.
It don't mean a motherfucking thing.
It was a great way of how he put it, but it goes to what we're saying, like the integrity, that money changes people's integrity. And it's easy for us to say this now because we don't have it, but knowing who we are, I can honestly say, even if we did have it, it wouldn't change our integrity. We know how to move, and we haven't had it for so long. We have it planned
out exactly how we're gonna move once we get it. You know what I mean? So
Right.
to me, it's just integrity. Like there's no integrity. It's a cutthroat, no integrity type of game.
Man, at the end of the day, on both sides, on the side of hating on someone with your skin color, make it in the industry, all the way to being that person with your skin color, not trying to put somebody else on unless you see fit. At the end of the day, we only got each other.
Exactly.
We only got each other. There's no point of trying to halt somebody else's career just because you want yours to flourish. If you're that guy, continue to be that guy. Mm-hmm. It's very easy.
Even if you, I don't want to sound like this is using somebody, but let's say you're not that guy in that sense. You don't have that kind of power, but you got some buzz about you. But you're working with the person that may be the guy. Be stand up and be genuine with that person, and chances are that person will be stand up and genuine with you back. So even though
they
you're
don't
not
forget
that guy,
big facts. They do not forget.
Right. So even though you're not that guy, you can be put in a position to where you are that guy, or by you being around that guy, it gets you in a position where you are that guy. It's just a matter of no patience, no integrity, and a cutthroat business. That's all it is.
Oh, it's all cutthroat business. Absolutely. I think this is a good place to wrap up, that we can finally say we had a short episode. Moral of the story, man, we all we got. We got. We don't need the bullshit. Just stop with the bullshit. Kev, let the people know where they can find you at, bro.
On Twitter, _Hollywood Kev. On Instagram, Hollywood Kev _. Don't forget to check out all the latest stuff. We got some shit coming, so just stay tuned.
Some things on the way. At Big Los IG on IG. Of course, at the Noize Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And go to BeatNetworkOnline.com for everything Beat Network. This Friday at the Truth Spot, Cognac Conversations, keeping it 100, celebrating our 100th episode.
Excuse me, y'all, because I'm nervous as hell. So if I'm nervous when we doing this, excuse me.
Oh man, we had to drop this just to make sure we had 99 episodes going into it. So, you can listen to this one, run through it, do whatever you please. You let us know how much we suck for coming for bringing it up late, whatever you want to call it. We just did it for the 99. So if you know, you know. But the truth spot, 1830 North Martin Luther King Boulevard, Suite 108. It is on Martin Luther King and Lake Mead. Doors open at 6:30. All pre-sale, everything is donezo. All that shit is done. It is $5 at the door.
Yeah, you definitely been in New York, donezo. You definitely.
It's $5 at the door till capacity. I'm gonna tell you right now, that is subject to change as well, because we could very much so be at that place. But we'll let you guys know as it gets closer. But the Truth Spot, October 12th, Cognac Conversations, keeping it 100 this Friday, October the 12th. With that being said, as always, we appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, we appreciate your support. And as always, it's Big Los.
Hollywood Kev.
It's the Noize.